All right. Welcome back to a series of Wonders events. We had a 2 week hiatus, and well, let's just say most of us are well rested. I'm still recovering, so sneezing and coughing might involve. I'll try to move away the mic. Just saying. so, uh, we have our. I'm your humble DM Robin, joining us today. Same as Stefan, play as our human sorcerer Ravani.
Yep.
Nathan, play as Viking, our Asmar Paladin, and Kat, play as Tolly, our Wood Elf Rogue. So previously, well, it's been quite some time, so the team managed to enter the city of Lux, and, well, trying to find a way to help their dear friend Lavinia to recover from her somehow fatal but not instant death injury, and they managed to went through a lot. Went to find counsel in like some wizard named Gus, who provided them a possible way to solve that. Also, they allied themselves with the city's commander Knox, who's in charge overseeing the whole safe peacekeeping and policing kind of work. And they managed to get an invitation to get into the royal palace banquet, which lies in the court of serenity, where the black feather sovereign family stays. So, which apparently is what Tully's auntie also lives there. So, sort of like that. And at the banquet, they were also informed that a specific cleric might be able to help solve the problem they're dealing at hand, i.e., cure Lavinia, and also, kind of unlock the true power of Viking sword. So the team kind of went on, information gathering on the street, and managed to run into one Frederick Goldfinger, who also happens to be dealing information. In their surprise, they found that Frederick informed them about the king's passing that caused the whole postponing the festival and everything. But after that, they were surrounded by a bunch of shadow warriors, got chased underground, temporarily seek sanctuary in the Jester Spawn's territory. Their leader, the Jester, out of, not entirely his kindness, but more like his past dealing with Frederick, allows them to stay there overnight. And they over the morning went back to the hotel. Well, not the hotel, the last sanctuary where Father Dwayne and Lavinia currently resides, as well as their other ally number 9, and as well as Althaea. So, but the moment they went back, they found a bunch of dwarves surrounding this last sanctuary, and demanding the kids to tell them where Father Dwayne is. And in the process of questioning, the team just got there a little bit too late to save one of the kids from its fatal blow from the dwarf. However, the team managed to avenge them, and now they're just looking at the wreckage, trying to gather some clues about the whereabouts of their beloved ones, because they're allies they've been missing the entire time. So that's a long-winded kind of overview, but now we're in here. So what would you guys like to do at this point?
Well, I kind of sort of mentioned this at the end of the last session, but basically, Ravini's sort of last sort of action sort of like put like a sheet over the dead kid to cover him up, uh she's sort of sitting in a house in a pretty bad state of mind right now.
So you guys see Ravini at this point kind of cuddle herself near the corpses of the dead kid that was killed by the dwarf, and just kind of lying there looking aimlessly at the body and just kind of in a shocked state. You can see her face sweating and like just couldn't utter a word. Yeah.
Have we managed to hide like the rest of the bodies that we?
Yeah, Frederick kind of sprayed a few acidic kind of potion on their bodies and dissolved them into a pile of nothingness and covered
So we
them
don't.
with
I have a
yeah.
body of the Iron Forged Priest
Yeah.
in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you were trying to stuff them in, but like I said, you can try,
instead.
and it will probably break the bindings of the backbone.
Yeah, I think maybe we sufficed on just taking his head.
Yeah. So you managed to chop off the head and kind of squeeze it in. Make me a sleight of hand check. Just see how like efficient you squeeze the head into the bag of holding.
Body part Tetris.
Yeah.
Yeah. While he's doing that, I'm making sure there's no viscera on my hands.
All right. You kind of pull in a lot of weight to try to chuck it in. The size just dwarf skulls. They're thick. They're hard. They're kind of all rounded. Makes it even harder to stuff it in. You manage to scrape off tons of like his scalp and like hair, and to finally just shove it in. Yeah.
You got a pretty mouth, boy.
Yeah.
Threw it in. As I like punch to the head to get it in the bag.
Repeatedly punch it into the bag.
As like he's doing that, I'm gonna go inside and Ravini, you alright?
I sort of just honestly say like the dwarf actually killed him.
Yeah. I wasn't fast enough. I'm sorry. If I'd been faster.
As I sort of tear up, I sort of just like look up to her and sort of just saying like, how can someone be so broken inside that
they're not people anymore. They're evil. That sense of wrongness. They've got to go. I don't know how they get to that point, but once they do, there's no bringing them back. We did the best we could, and it's done now.
Yeah, but what am I supposed to do now?
Now we're all beat to shit. I think we find where the rest of our allies are, and we have time. I'd love to finish the rest of these, but we have. Oh God, we have to look like normal people for the banquet tonight. I don't know.
What about the body? I thought,
what do you mean?
I don't know what to do with this.
Normal's subjective, but yeah, the kid.
You're in your dress already.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
like
that's right.
all of you are currently in your dress right now because Gunter was like real nice and help you all dressed up in a fashion that
No,
you can fight.
last
No,
session.
I got
no,
changed.
it was just Tally.
It
I
was just
remember that
me.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was fighting in her dress.
Yeah, it was wicked
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
We should find the father, and he will know what to do with this kid. And he will know what. Oh, jeez. Where did he go? Where did he actually go? And why were they after him?
I don't know either. All right.
It's all right. We've got questions. Let's go find some answers.
I'm pretty tapped out as it is. I
Yeah.
don't know how much more I can really do.
Mm-hmm.
We need to rest.
This is around about 9 in the morning. You guys start off really early and just come over and like fight and everything. So
All right.
Out of character, I think I have one spell slot, no lay on hands left.
yeah.
We need to rest, and I know where the kids went, so we can ask them what the hell happened.
Is
while
it
we take a
safe
rest.
to rest here, though?
I don't know.
You
I mean,
guys
we
don't know?
killed like one.
Well,
I guess we could go
there's
where the
two
kids are.
running away though. You recall that there are two of them who ran away and just because the frightened aspect of Viking, they just keeps on running.
Is there an inn nearby that we could possibly go to?
Well, looking around, you see mostly shops, and the other place around are probably like household that doesn't really take in people. There was a kind of a tavern you guys were at, where you guys also met Frederick, the Rusty Iron Inn. But however, you recall that before you leave the sewer, there's no one in particular on the street, which was quite alarming at that time, but seems irrelevant by now. But yeah.
Where did the kids go?
That's the thing. You just tell them to run. So I would like you to roll me an investigation check to see whether or not you can tell which direction they went.
Because I would have watched them until they were out of sight.
Yeah. God
damn, what am I doing? Investigation. Ooh, no.
Yeah.
I was busy getting stabbed.
You tried your best, but with Rainy broken down and with all the fighting you just did, it's like you can't really tell where the kids went.
Alright.
Yeah.
Frederick, any ideas?
Frederick kind of leans against the wall in the shadows, just keeping an lookout. And when he heard you said that, he's like, sorry, kiddo. This part, well, people usually keep respect and for Father Dwayne because, well, the man's got a really good reputation around the area. People don't tend to do business in this certain area, so I wouldn't know. We just it's like when someone with that kind of stature, like
understood.
And people just respect that. So
evidently not these ones. All right. Well, we can't stay here long.
We certainly can't. It's like I give us about 30 minutes to an hour before reinforcements arrived, and we better bounce. Yeah. All right. So where do you guys want to go at this point?
At this point, I'm mostly just sort of cleaning the tally, so So I'm not really in a state right now to sort of decide where we go. But pretty much wherever they decide to go, I go.
Okay.
Murder hobo spree.
I mean, I don't know
Just
how
stand on the
bad
street
idea.
like Drax the Destroyer, say, "Come
My
at me,
goal-
bro."
Is we can do some more fucked up stuff, and then this, in hindsight, means nothing. Like,
Yep.
this is just another day at the office. No.
Oh my god.
Oh,
But
man.
seriously, where do you guys want to go? It's up to you.
Oh, jeez.
I think we should find somewhere to rest. Is there?
Yeah.
He's Does the father preach somewhere, like a church or?
You look around. This is the place where he preached. This is more like soup kitchen plus shelter plus place like church. So it's like for all sorts of activities.
Okay. Yeah, we need to find somewhere to rest. Is my thing. So we should at least get away from here.
Do you want to just scout for someone new?
Okay.
Or do we go back to something we know?
Well, you look around and
We don't need somewhere to sleep per se, but
More
we
like
need
a
somewhere to
short
like
rest.
wash up,
Yeah.
get a meal, that kind of stuff. Because out of character, that can be a rest just as much. You're not doing anything taxing, right?
True.
Right.
So, like, even just a bathhouse.
Okay.
I like it.
So you guys try to look around then. To look around the area, see what you can find. All right. Everyone roll me investigation check. It's not gonna be really hard, so I'll say you all have advantage because it's like, Yay!
Let's go with Tully's.
That's an
I'm doing great.
achievement.
I'm like trying not to step on my dress, just
it's like,
what am I doing?
Yeah. What? What is this place? Why am I here? But anyway, with the combined effort, thanks to the group, you managed to find somewhere near a few blocks away near the area, and it doesn't look like an all-rounded place, more like a small restaurant where you can eat, but that's about it. More like a tavern, not exactly the type they offer rooms for people to stay, but more like just people just come to here and drink, like a bar, sort of. So yeah. You entered the bar. It's like the creepy thing about this is that there's no one here. You walked on the street for a couple of minutes. No one's here. You walked into the bar. No one's here. Food's on the table though. Like there's beer. There's food. There are fireplaces still burning. So you imagine that. They didn't kind of just disappear. They were doing something when they leave. Before they leave.
I want to stick my finger in one of the foods just to see if it's hot or not.
Okay, so
To judge whether or not it's been like they took off.
You
like,
stick
within-
the finger in. The food is like kind of warm.
So half an hour probably since it's been on the
Probably.
table. Okay, like it's been about half an hour since this was served. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. And signs of a scuffle, or they left willingly?
It's more like people just abruptly left when having a meal. Everything seems in place, so you imagine people are leaving willingly.
It's weird.
There's supposed to be people here, right? But
Yeah.
why did they leave? Why did they leave and leave the food here? Right?
I'm gonna use divine sense.
Okay.
My spidey senses are tingling.
Mm-hmm.
Something's
So
not right.
you sensed around. You don't feel any fiend or undead around you. It's like you haven't feel the feeling of peace for a long time because from the day you joined the order, well Merkel's order, you were constantly trained to feel undead, and you usually have a like a keen sense of picking them out. But ever since in Lux, you never really felt any undead, which is, you don't know, a blessing maybe.
I don't sense anything my folk related. Instead of the dead. At least we know it's not a big dragon coming out of the freaking sewers again.
Well, your
That's a
divine
good
sense
one.
couldn't tell if it's a dragon. That's
That
the
was an
pity
undead
part.
dragon, though, right?
It's not followed us here, which
Yeah,
is positive.
it's not a half-dead
I-
demonic.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
I love
thing.
it. That's a good win. That's a good start. I don't like not knowing what's going on at all. This is bad. I'm gonna start like just kind of sweeping the place, see if anyone's left hiding.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how is no one here?
Yeah, so you look around. Frederick is also looking concerned. He's also looking around each room with you. Just kind of accompany you when you do the sweep. It takes you guys about like 10 minutes. It's like not a big place, but all the way
We're
you
being
look
careful.
around, including the kitchen, there's no one there. Just empty.
I try to look around, but I sort of wander around as if in a bit of a daze still.
All right.
I'm gonna give Ravani like certain rooms to look at. I'm starting to like order her like, okay, I need you to check this, this, and this. I'm trying to keep her moving.
Keep her occupied.
Uh,
Give her
okay.
instructions. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys all take a look. Ravani, even look under the fireplace as Tully told you to do so. Nothing. Not even a rat. Like the whole place is like empty.
I looked, but I can't find anything. I don't understand. I don't get it.
It makes no sense. All life signs except for us are gone. The kids were fine. The dwarves were fine.
Kudos for the big wall of fire, though.
Yes, that was excellent.
You have my approval.
Yeah.
Thanks. I guess.
All right. So, what would you guys like to do at this point?
I'm happy that we're safe here for the moment. I'd like to rest.
Okay. So, I would say long rest or short rest. It's up to you guys.
I think we should long rest it because I'm pretty useless on a short.
Okay. So,
If
Alright, go ahead.
nobody's coming or going in this place, I'm almost tempted to try and barricade the door a bit.
Oh yeah, like because I'll only take 4 hours to rest, and then I'll spend the rest of it on watch and barricading.
all right. So, you spend about good 30 minutes to move the bench over to the door. The wooden bench kind of cracks just a slight bit when you like just because it's really heavy, so you lean it against the wall and just kind of make it stay there, just kind of blockade the door. Excuse me. Yeah, so after you're done, it was like you guys kind of come to a more relaxed state, as now well, there's only 2 windows and you also blockade the door, so you think it's gonna be pretty fine for now. So you guys do you take the meal or do you just rest?
Uh, I'll sort of try to eat like one of the meals since no one else is here. But
All right.
Yeah,
So
we'll leave some gold on the counter, kind of thing. Well, we're not stealing stuff. It's just one of those.
okay, yeah, just serve yourself, kind of. All right.
Yeah.
So you
Like-
kind of puts about 5 pieces of gold on the counter, I assume. And
Sure.
just started eating, and like the food tastes nice. Like it's warm. It's like there's some apple pie there. There's some bacon there. There's some all around it, like a really nice, nourished kind of breakfast people are having, or brunch if you wish. Yeah. And after that, you kind of sat down on the side of the walls and just starting to relax and
I took the 5 gold out of the party
have
loot.
fun. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I try to have a long rest as well, but with everything that's happened, it's a bit of a very fitful kind of rest.
all right. It's
Perch
like
on watch by Lavinia and try and like soothe her back to sleep every time she starts.
okay, night terror kind of
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys all went to rest. So I would assume Frederick will go on the first watch if none of you are doing watches.
Because I'll do my 4 hours sleep and then I'll take
Okay.
over from Frederick.
Yeah. So for the first round, let's see. Well, it's uneventful. After like 4 hours, Frederick kind of gently wakes you up. Tully, at this moment, hold on. Yeah, it is at this moment you heard sort of like a bell ring. It's like kind of those church bells you heard, like really long and really kind of something severe if like something happens.
Like
So
a funeral
the bell
bell.
just rang, just kind of rang for 12 times, and eventually just like subside.
I look at Frederick and just tilt my head.
He was like, Frederick's face looks really concerned at this
Oh,
point,
no.
and just says, "They shouldn't have. But it's not the right time.
Something that's wrong has gone even more wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They. This is. Well, alright. So, you know how the city was built, right? Like I shared before. So, there were monstrosities at the cities once, and this is all depends on the two sovereigns that kind of help us fight the land and kind of fight them back in order to reclaim the city as our own. Well, 12 means huge inbound monstrosities, and the city is now in lockdown. So,
But monstrosities? What
yeah. Well,
what do you mean?
Well, last time, a surge like this is more composed of, well, beholders, gargoyles, yeah, and yeah, like I said, we took the land from them. This was a monster roaming land for once. Yeah,
So people are likely in shelters. That's where they've gone.
likely, more than likely. The underground is like, well, the tunnel was the only place that will not get alert by. So I was, I think
Yep.
now I know why people are all gone.
I just want to say I'm starting to like this place a lot more.
You just like it because you can kill things.
Frederick just looks at you and says, "Well, I hope you still keep your optimism when a fleet of dragons scorch this place." But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, we are not defenseless. We still have the wizards on Arcadia that can cast powerful spells to protect the city. So yeah, I think we're fine. There's never been a breach ever since we built the city. So it's more precaution. But never have I ever heard 12 bells ring at the same time. Well, that's probably nothing. The wizards will handle it like usual, like they always do. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right.
As long as it didn't have anything to do with people showing up dead in the streets.
Yep. Exactly. Right. We're fine. We didn't do this, so we're okay.
Not my fault.
Your famous word. Yes, sir.
Mhm.
I found you gone quite acquainted to using those words. All right, so
I don't
know. Okay.
I sort of just say like I don't know if I like this place so much anymore.
Well,
It'll be fine.
It's awesome because your level of liking the place is going down and mine's going up. I'm like, we'll find a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah,
It'll probably be like a gladiatorial arena.
Yes.
All right.
Oh,
I'll
then
be
I
down
was
in the pit,
excited.
you're up in the stands. That's when we're just happy.
All right.
I'm sorry. This is it's just a lot of things that happened, and
Yeah.
I'm still kind of reeling, but I'll try to manage.
You will. I know you will.
All right.
As she's saying that, I'm there like pulling shit out of the bag of holding, and I pull out like the boots. I have mysterious magic boots in the bag of holding, and I take it out, and I'm like, there's like a fucking foot in there still. I'm like,
you dropped the foot last time, but I would say for the sake of funny, you still kept another foot in the boots.
I just throw it in the fireplace. Like,
you tossed
let's never speak of this again.
All right, you tossed the boots into the fireplace. Okay.
No, the foot in the fireplace, just like.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like, I got no use with this, and just toss it into the fireplace. All right. So the foot kind of bursts into the fireplace.
Yeah. So, yeah, can I, during the long rest, can I take a look at them?
You sure can. So during the long rest, you kind of examine it, get a really solid feel on it. Kind of try to, in any way, to determine what it is. Has any one of you have the spell of identify?
Not me.
We have nobody that can afford to have identify, I think.
True.
Spellcaster wise.
So, roll me an Arcana check. With disadvantage because, you have no clue what it is.
Arcana.
11. Well, it took you about a good few hours. Luckily, this item is not that hard to determine. You found a boot of elven kind. So, you kind of determine that because you've met some travelers who wore this kind of boots. They tend to give the wearer like really comfort and really stealthy kind of power. So yeah, it's not a really powerful item, but it's decent.
I like toss the boots at one of I'm gonna say Ravani because I know Kat has her flying boots, and like they hit the floor right in front of you, but don't make a sound.
Yeah.
They just like awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think those are good.
Yeah.
But they're useless to me because they give advantage on stealth, but I have disadvantage, so it'd just be
Just be normal.
Well, it
They're
balances
kinda-
out, so I don't know. It's up to you.
like RP wise. I still say boots weren't gonna help you because my
No,
chain
yeah.
is literally
Yeah.
ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Ka-chung, ka-chung, ka-chung.
Yeah, like it RP wise, it doesn't make sense.
Well,
Like it.
if it magically absorbs sounds, then it does. But all sounds. But anyway, you
Mhm.
toss the boots right in front of Rumani. So yeah, Rumani, you just find a nice pair of boots with some blood stain on it, but it's fine.
I sort of just try I sort of just try to like clean the blood stains off it as much as I can because I don't really want to see blood right now.
Yeah, true.
I'd imagine I would probably try and clean off most of that before,
Yeah.
like in the inspection. I'd be like pretty detailed in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um,
Imagine Viking using a small wooden brush to like, just brush off the dust and like see the ruins and everything.
I don't know. It'd be like I'm sitting at the table and there's
Like
like
a
some
rag.
guy's soup.
Yeah.
I'm like I dunk the tip of the
Oh my
boot
God.
in the soup and I just like start scrubbing.
Okay. All right. So
It's like
you start
tomato bisque
rubbing-
soup. It's like not even something you
no.
want
Yeah.
on.
But it blends in, so like it's kind of helping.
This is how you do this, right?
Yeah, true. So Rainy, you have a boot with the smell of soup on it. Just
Tomato soups,
Tomato
boots.
soup, yeah. Mixing with the was in their blood, it's like it smells gorgeous. Like yes.
I'm not sure
Is
how I
that-
feel about this.
Does that negate the fact that you have advantage on stealth except for the smell
Scent.
checks?
Yeah.
It's like I smell tomato soup.
Yeah.
Like,
Plain.
oh shit, I can't see him, but I can smell him.
Mm.
No, but do you have prestidigitate? As a candidate?
I do not actually.
Okay.
Oh, that one's my favorite.
Yeah, me too. But anyway, you.
That and mending.
Yeah, true. Two of the, well, somewhat broke spell, but.
Well,
yeah.
it's that and minor
And
illusion
RP
are like the
wise,
three
RP wise, but
that like I just love, right?
yeah,
Because
true,
it bodes well to your creativity.
true.
Mhm.
So, you find a sink to wash the boots, Ruvani. Just like clean it off. Managed to get 90% of the smell off, but it's still a little bit wet. So, do you put it on right now?
Yeah, I guess sort of try them on to
All right.
just to see how they.
As you put them on, it miraculously fits your boot, your foot size, and just like, just in the right place. It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
a little bit damp, but yeah.
I also have a mysterious hammer, but that'll be like next long rest.
Yep.
I won't bother giving it to anyone
All right. So,
unless somebody wants to. But I think I have the highest int.
sad fact.
Mm-hmm.
The murderers
I'm
of
good.
Murder Hobo just have the highest end. Nah,
I,
but anyway.
That's how you. That's how you operate.
I just sort of start like aimlessly walking around, like sort of looking down, sort of marveling at these like boots that aren't making any sounds when I walk.
Okay. All right, so
As-
you walk around.
as
the
she's
area, just
walking,
like-
Yeah.
I'm like, like I'm trying to fake like
the
like
sound when you step
squeaking or
on the
something.
crack.
because
Nice.
I know what they are. Trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
Roll me a performance check.
Performance
All right.
4.
The key is way off, Ravinia. When you step onto something, you know it's solid. You know you heard a sound coming from afar. You know immediately that's Viking.
It's not like so bad. I kind of have to sort of giggle a little bit at it,
Yeah.
and I actually sort of looked at him with like the first little smile that I've had since since the fight, and I sort of just say like a quiet like thanks for that.
Anytime. That's what I'm here for. Comedic value
Yes.
and
Alright.
killing stuff.
Yeah. So you
Okay,
guys.
out of character,
Yeah.
I gotta ask
Go
a
ahead.
question. When did we get level 8? Was that the end of last session, or
Yeah, I think that was.
I don't think I've done any of my stats or anything.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
let
I just
me
realized that.
check.
That's all.
Yeah. Let me check. Yeah.
It's like my lay on hand still was set for level 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And were we
it was
doing
like last
max health or roll?
session. Roll, and then if the health is lower than average, just pick the average.
Okay.
That's nice.
That's higher. Sorry to interrupt.
It's fine. So for Riveni, you walk around and like kind of giggle for a while, and eventually you return to rest, I assume. It's
Yeah,
only been 4 hours, so
right. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll sort of return to rest.
Okay.
Then, yeah.
All right. So you guys finished the long rest without
Or like
any.
try to sleep as best as I can. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you try to break it in. Like the magic craft on this thing is like, magnificent. You just feel like you're walking barefoot. Sometimes you even feel like, am I wearing a boots or not? But like, the comfort of wearing it is like so comfortable. So it took you guys like, well, you finished the extended full rest and kind of now it's like in mid afternoon. Well, in the more like afternoon and then evening. So 2 or 3 o'clock. I was 8 hours. So no, actually 4 to 5 o'clock somehow. You woke up without kind of any other instance. Tale, you were on watch, so you heard occasionally kind of crackling of energy burst with the long, like distant howling of kind of monstrous roar, and feels like something is trying to, fight its way in. The roar kind of reminds you of the Dimlich dragon you once faced. But other than that, it just feels distant, like some kind of soundproof, some sound dampening stuff that circles around the city that makes the howling and roaring like lessen. Feels less terrifying.
It's good, but it just makes me worry about Lavinia more.
Yeah, sure. So you also recall, as you were worrying about Lavinia, you also recall that today, this evening is the night you're going to the banquet. So yeah. The banquet starts around 9, so you still have a few hours to prep before you go to the palace. However, there are still no sign of people returning, so you assume that at this point, it's just like taking shelter, waiting for this wave to pass kind of situation. All right. So you all come to your senses, staring down at the tavern. At the bar. What would you guys like to do?
I just sort of asked the other two, like, so, um, so where, so where, so where do you think we should try to go now?
It's probably best if we head to the party.
Yeah.
You know, the odds of us being attacked in that big of a group is pretty
Attacked, we're pretty good. I wouldn't worry about us. I worry about other people there.
Yes.
There have been many an assassination at the moment, so I feel like just be careful of the food. Yeah.
All right. So you guys are going to the banquet.
Doesn't seem like much of a party if you have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Well, that's, I guess, the stalemate of state dinners. If it's all peacetime, you're fine. If there's assassins, well.
True. Frederick just kind of nods when Tully said that, and he also adds, perhaps this would be a good time for us to enter the palace. You know, with all the fortification. All the bastions are still in the front line defending the city. It will make it less questionable for us to enter the palace, especially with, her situation. I doubt the Shadow Warriors will have any time to, chase us down. It's hard to say, but
no, I'm kind of grateful they've been quiet. I would have expected them to find me by now.
Yeah. So I assume that the queen must have deployed all the Shadow Warriors in the front lines to help defend the city. So once we're at the banquet, a blunt dagger would be, somewhat inconvenient if seen. So that way we just have to worry about poison, potions, backstabbing,
just all of it.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be a great observational exercise, and we're gonna be fine because we aren't targets for this. They are. So
Mike just smiles like, yes.
I do not look at all reassured by this.
Nope. I'm just like, I'm giggling and I'm like, it's okay.
I'm great at reassuring people, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, goodness.
I'm just thinking, I hope the fuck nobody looks in the bag of holding.
Sir, please hand us over your bag so we can check. Yeah.
Like 25 pounds of fish, just
all sort of dead weird stuff. Yeah, true.
Oh god.
It's gonna be awkward, but hilarious.
How did those get in there?
Yeah.
This bag keeps getting stolen, and there's more shit that ends up in here than.
True.
Sorry, that was something that came to mind.
Nope, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
So I would say you guys get dressed, to the banquet. Yeah. All right. So Frederick just kind of step aside and let you guys do the change, and he just keeps an eye out on the door, making sure no one passes by. So at this point, he's more interested into talking one living person than to avoid one. You can see him searching down the street, just kind of anxiously tapping his finger to his temple, this is just constantly doing this. Yeah, constantly doing this, just trying to find something. Sadly, no result. Even after you guys are done with your dressing, just it's still dead on the street. he just looks at you guys and says, "Well, now that you're all changed, let's go to the palace. As fast as possible, I guess." So yeah, it took you guys about another hour to 30 minutes to break into the dress. Well, especially for Ravania's dress, it's like though it's good for traveling and stuff. Like the dress will be somewhat hard to put it on. So yeah, after all, it's fit for a banquet. So there's still some getting used to, and plus you need to wear makeups and stuff like that. So it takes some time.
Which I'm not used to at all, by the way.
Well, you guys kind of.
I'm having fun because disguises are my thing, so it's like,
yeah, with your with your disguise kit and everything, you do a pretty good makeup on both Ravania and yourself. Viking, however,
I lean over to Viking and just like.
Are
like
you
with the brushes
trying
and
to dodge away?
No,
It's like
I want to
do
feel
your
pretty
worst.
too.
Excellent.
All right. So
I'm gonna like use colors out of his outfit and just like make it sharp. It's not overly girly, but it's very much like fine.
Okay, wait now. You have to remember, I'm was it Fallen Azamar? I'm a pale motherfucker.
Yeah.
he's
You're
an emo
bright
pale
colors.
motherfucker.
You go like
On the
this for
surface.
the cover up or the foundation. You're like just the whole 2 handfuls.
Oh
It's
my
not
God.
even just like gentle.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles, roll me disguise toolkit check.
Oh gee whiz, oh
Yeah.
mercy.
If you roll bad, I'm basically a fucking clown whore.
I will say you have advantage because you already worked on Ravani. However, you guys will be sure like.
You do realize that was a nat 1, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
Really?
no, please.
All right.
Yeah.
Eight is a nat
Then
1.
in that case, no, you don't. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
no.
You don't.
I look
my
like
bad.
the fucking Joker.
Yeah.
Just like a big
I have
fucking
rolled
grin.
3 nat ones today.
Yeah, tonight.
Roll
I was
20
like,
hates me.
yeah,
Jeez.
the dice god just
No.
kind of had its fun on you, but when you turn up, Frederick just kind of dropped his dagger when he sees you guys. Like, okay, what's this jester situation going on? I took you guys to see that guy once, and he's not even dressed like an actual jester, and now you're giving me this. So, Viking, you look into the mirror Frederick held up. You see yourself, but not yourself. You see a jester standing right in front of you, with like plush cheeks on the side, like red dots. It's not even plush cheeks, it's just red dots on the side.
Perfect circle.
Yeah, and then heavy dark eyeliner underneath. The eyeliner is so thick, it's to the side of your nose. So it's like it's all over messed up situation.
I'm good to go.
All right.
Excellent.
So he took that like a man. All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
I've never had to go to this fancy shit before. I figure this is how it goes on, right?
Yeah. True. For Viking, he never experienced this, so well.
Perfect distraction.
Yeah.
For this, I should have advantage on intimidation checks. Let's be honest.
You have
Or at least
disadvantage in
performance.
all other aspects, but only advantage in intimidation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, you guys all remember you guys all get the benefit of a long rest. So
Yeah.
make sure you have your hit points, your
I'm looking at what I was going to take for the ability score increase at 8. Thinking I might pick up a magic initiate.
that would
just
be nice.
what-
Yeah. Just
yeah.
the more familiar, the merrier. Yeah, just like we want everything.
Well, like
Well, it depends.
this is out of character, but like
Yeah.
cleric would give me word of radiance, which is
True.
something from Xanthar's, and it's
Mhm.
basically a melee AOE now.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
Really good.
so
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. But
Okay.
All right.
And that reminds me, before we leave, I'm going to dig through for a healer's kit anywhere because I took the healer feat.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, you're searching. Wait.
There's got to be first aid for a bar somewhere.
Okay.
Like,
So you managed to do a makeshift inside the do a search inside the bar. I will say roll me an investigation check.
I can't believe I'm a
Let
rogue
the
that has a
fun
0
roll.
investigation. Like, how? Wow.
How about that? Just straight up. How
Okay,
about
right.
that?
let's be honest. Back in the day, what was a healing kit? It was literally alcohol and some
True.
torn up bed sheets.
True.
Like that. There you go.
So that's
healer.
what you get. That's what you get, Tolly. You managed to
Excellent.
torn off a bed sheet to make some kind of a bandage, and then you managed to take a few bottles of alcohol on the table. That's it. Well,
I'll take the tiny, like, mini bar versions of the alcohol bottles and
yeah,
put them in a
just
pocket.
Put it in the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Doing great.
yeah, you as a newborn
Like,
healer,
it's fine.
yeah, you
Yeah.
feel great. All right, so you guys are ready, and you guys follow Frederick's instructions and starting to walk off into the district near this Court of Serenity. I'm gonna pull out the map right now. All right. So, like I said before, you guys were in the common ground at this first point. So you guys were here in the common ground. So Frederick, he tends to take you guys through the shortcuts, i.e. through the Bastion's port, and then through go into the Court of Serenity. Right. So you guys walk on quite the stair to the sky bridge, and it's quite a sight. It feels like the clouds are underneath your feet as you guys are trying to be really careful to walk around. However, it's not. There's no one in sight. That's the whole point. You manage to go through even the Bastion station. You can see on the brim of the Bastion station, kind of like a dome-like magical protection that's rising up on the side of the city part. So it kind of constantly fends off all the incoming fireballs, all the incoming dragon breath, all the incoming all sorts of ray beams that are shooting off from the monsters. Occasionally you can see some soldiers got squashed onto the side of the protection, or sometimes it's the monsters that got slain and just piled up underneath. But anyway, you guys managed to walk through all the tension and the firing, and managed to get to the Court of Serenity.
I start to just go like,
Yeah.
how often does this stuff happen?
Sorry. Frederick was coughing like hell. Yeah, so Frederick was like, we don't get that often. We get occasionally, 1 or 2 bell ring. That is usually some weird creatures trying to sneak in massively again to perform some kind of weird ritual in order to turn the whole city into weird creatures, but that's beyond point. My point is, those are, pests. You wouldn't even call it a threat, a danger. This kind of scale, like I said, never happened before. So, yeah. There's that.
Do you think they're maybe planning something if there's is this an attack that big? Or
I think everyone would be afraid of that, quite frankly. The thing is, we don't always know what they're planning. Like, you can't have, well, common people's knowledge compared to the monsters. They will sometimes enforce their will through their followers, i.e., the cultists. But I don't think even the cultists themselves knows what their, well, lords are truly after, or what these kind of creatures are truly after. In short, they may be playing a bigger game than we can comprehend. But anyway, it's like, I think the city will still hold. The city's barrier is like pretty solid. Sorry.
if you say so.
Yeah. So, you guys walk through, watching the barrier like stand, like kind of holds itself in place against the heavy attack that was going on outside, and you manage to reach to the court. The court is slightly different than you expected. Like, upon walking in, you don't see like walls. Like, unlike normal kind of palace you would expect, like heavy castles, high walls, barricades around the area. You see none of that. You see instead a large forest, kind of like the largest forest you would ever see, like on a small kind of flowing island scale. So this is a density of the whole forest got like squashed into one place. And you see as you walk through, well, there's no actual gates. You walk down the sky bridge, you just got welcomed by this vast forest. And occasionally there are statues you can see. You see one on top is a silver dragon statue that are standing just on a well-crafted stone pillar on a pile of like kind of grass field. The silver dragon's wing glistens in the dawnings, in the like evening sunlight, sunset, and it just reflects bright, vibrant color from its wings and all its parts. And as you walk closer, you can see that the statue is actually entirely made of silver. Yeah. So you walk about a few feet inside before you got kind of stopped by this kind of magical creature that are glistening in purplish hue. It just floats out from one side of the trees and just kind of stops in front of you guys and just says, "Good evening. How may I assist you?"
We're looking for the banquet.
Right inside. But first, I would like to ask for your invitation. Can you present them to me?
I like rifle through my pockets for the invitation.
All right. You immediately find the invitation and you hand it over to him. You can see that the creature just his hand just gently lift the invitation. As you can see on the envelope, just there was like kind of invisible words like on the envelope, and as the creature just lifts it up, it just floats and it just quickly skimmed through the appearing words on the envelope, and with a purplish light he hands it over and just says, "Follow me, please." And just continues to walk inwards. So you guys kind of walk through about 30 minutes or so. It's like a long, really large field of sort of a garden-like place, until you eventually arrived near the centerpiece of the so-called garden. There are a few like kind of like wooden crafted sort of like platforms you can see, and then there are people just busy working on the side. Sorry for lacking the people's token, but there are people actually working on setting up the banquet. You guys arrived about 8:30 or so, so you assume that the party hasn't yet started. It's more like a just pre-run for everything to prep. Yeah. So you walk around. There's a large amount of waiter and waitresses just walking past through you. Yeah, that's about it. You don't see anyone sort of high state. More like just the workers that are preparing for the banquet. What would you guys like to do at this point?
I sort of just sort of looking around, like sort of nervously sweating and sort of like fidgeting nervously, as I'm not really sure what to do what to do in this situation.
Okay, so you kind of awkwardly stand aside and watch as the waiter and waitresses getting ready. Anything else Tully or Viking will want to do?
I'll grab one of the waiters. Have any other guests arrived, or are we the first?
The waiter just turns around. You can notice that he's also an elf, and he just kind of nods at you and says, well, the people tend to arrive, slightly late or a bit on time. What the? All right. So what was that?
No. I'm.
You want to kill the waiter? You got it.
Yeah. No. The spell's in Xanthar, so I have to manually make the spell card.
Okay. Cool.
From a magic initiate, so I'm just playing with it.
Okay.
Excellent.
Cool.
I'm not quite sure if it works yet.
Yeah, it works.
And no, it does not.
Really? I thought
it didn't increase the damage for the second damage type.
Yeah, it didn't increase.
I know there's a way in doing it for it, but
yeah. While you are playing that, the waiter just respond by saying they usually arrived a little bit later than the starting time, but you guys are free to sit around and just wait before the party gets started, or maybe you can talk to someone who arrived early, if there's any.
Thank you very much.
Awkwardly just waves you goodbye.
I'd let him get back to his work.
Okay. So you guys, anything else you want to do?
Are we in the kitchen area, or sorry,
this
where are we?
This is more like where the where the banquet happens. So
okay.
Definitely not the kitchen area. You want to go to the kitchen area though?
No, it's fine.
Okay. So yeah, you guys, I would say you guys sit around and kind of just waiting for the party to get started, if that's the case.
I'm watching the wait staff. I'm learning everyone's patterns and seeing if I can spot any guards.
All right. So as you look around, roll me a perception check though.
I sort of just want to look around and see if there's any sort of interesting people sort of hanging around right now.
Yeah, you definitely see like some sort of a priestess that are sitting on the side, with her chest is a symbol of, well, okay, with her chest as a symbol of, well, the Raven Queen. As you saw, like, from the first time you encounter the Raven Queen's priestess. So yeah, with that perception, you easily spotted that she sits on the far side of the banquet, just sitting there and closing her eyes, and just seems like she's praying or something. For Tolly, you skim around. There's just a lot happened in your life, so yeah.
I'm otherwise distracted. There's so much. It's just like,
Yeah, I just can't seem to find anyone. Shit. No, you don't spot any sorts of well, troops, guards, soldiers. You assume maybe.
I assume they're not guarding this. They're actually fighting, and
maybe they're fighting outside. Maybe, but you don't know. Yeah, that's about the best you can gather.
Thank you.
Cool. So, anything else you would like to kind of find?
I'm just sitting back and waiting now.
All right. So you guys started sitting around, just wait for the party to get started. Okay.
Sorry, I'm done now.
All right. So Viking, anything else you want to do? No.
No, I'm good. I'm just I'm gonna refrain from drinking right away.
Okay. So you just call upon one of the waiter and just said you would like some drinks? Is that the case?
No, I don't want to drink right now.
Okay.
Refrain is not going
sorry.
to.
Yeah, my bad. All right.
I sort of lean over to Tally and sort of casually say, like, "Hey, you see the priestess-looking person over there?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she's someone important worth talking to, or?"
If she's not busy, why not? It's a party after all.
Okay. I'll be right back. And yeah, I think I'll sort of try and go over and.
All right.
And
talk to her.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to, as casually as I can, remain within earshot.
Okay. So, you guys walk over. Well, for Tully, you move over to, being casual. All right. So, what would you like to say, Lavinia?
Well, I'm not quite as sort of bubbly as I usually am.
True.
Because I'm still a bit frazzled by recent events, but I still sort of like try to put on like a friendly, like sort of like a
smile, kind of.
Yeah. So just say like, hello there. How are you doing? You enjoying the party, or?
The priestess kind of opens her eyes and just gently gives you a nod and says, "Greetings." Well, you could say that, though on my end, I wasn't fully here to indulge myself into partying. It's more like, some matters to discuss. So, sorry, where are my manners? I'm Naira, and what's your name, miss?
I'm Ravani. Ravani Mycroft.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Naira.
Okay. Well, devoter. So I don't have a last name ever since I fully devoted myself to the Raven Queen. So, yeah. So,
Yeah, I actually sort of noticed the holy symbol
yes.
you have there. Uh, uh,
Don't worry. She kind of gives you a like gentle nod as you are trying to mutter words, to try to be try to socialize with her, and she just continues saying, I can tell that you didn't come here, well, willingly. So, uh, something with the family that are force like that forces you to come, or uh, I'm good at telling people, well, try, like see what people are, well, not made of, but they're more like their intentions. So I can tell that you didn't really want to come here, and something else is troubling your mind. So if you seek guidance from the Raven Queen, I would be happy to enlighten you in a way.
I already know like. Do I already know like general stuff about like the Raven Queen and the religion around that, or?
Well, you can roll for a religious check to find out. You are absolutely blunt. You haven't heard of the word Raven Queen. What is this woman talking about? Yeah, you have no clue who the
I'm
Raven
so
Queen
sorry.
or what it is. So,
Caught my disease.
yeah.
I sort of well, actually, this is a little embarrassing, but uh, I'm I'm kind of a bit of a foreigner around these parts. I don't really know. I don't really know a whole lot about this Raven Queen. But maybe,
uh,
maybe you could tell me more about her.
she just nods and says, gladly. So, the Raven Queen is, well, some say she's the emissary of the death. Some say she, well, kind of balanced life and death, but she's more of a deity who love to see how the one's course runs naturally. So it's very much, in a way of speaking, like how the druids feel about nature. So the Raven Queen views the nature of life and death, the cycle should be run to its course. So that is why we kind of resent well, not sort of way of resent, more like we don't like any other creatures who tries to steal or borrow a little more time than they should have. So we kind of puts them to their eternal rest, and making sure that every creature, well, has run its course of life. So at least that's from what my understanding to the dogma is. But every priest and priestess, they have their different way of interpreting the god's will. But I assume that in her mind, we are probably, well, just the same.
That sounds interesting. How long have you been a worshiper?
I've been walking on this path for 22 years.
That sounds like these sounds like you're pretty dedicated then. Huh.
You could say that. I walked on this path. It's not because I got a calling, but more like it just feels it just feels right, like to follow her path, to walk on this land, to be sort of like send off to the earth, to the other world. So I think that's what makes me want to walk on this path. So yeah, you are also more than welcome to join us to our order, to our cause. But eventually it's up to you. I mean, we're not like some cult that would try to enforce our will upon you, because that's not how we do things.
That's very nice of you. That's I don't know if I I don't know for sure yet if Raymond Queen is something I can see myself committing to, but uh, I appreciate the thought, and I sort of
Okay. She kind of gives you a nod of understanding and just says, like I said, I understand it's not for everyone to, just acknowledge her and the cause immediately. But yeah, you're more than welcome to join us from our meetings and various, preach. And yeah, maybe you would find your own path. So someday, but yeah.
Speaking of paths, do you? I don't suppose you know if there are other religions aside from the Raven Queen here in Lex, do you? Or
Other religions in the city. So there's also worshippers of Lathanders, who are in charge. Well, who are the bringer of light, and also Shantia, that is the mother of the land, and also the most well accepted with the farmers, because they would love for her blessing for the land to thrive. And yeah, there are some other deities, like Soon is also very well accepted, goddess of love, and yeah. So yeah, we got various of deities. There is a place in the city. It's called the Planar Observatory, which also habits all the churches of various deities that we worship in Lux. So you are more than welcome to go check it out and see for yourself.
I smile after I that, and I sort of reply like, "Thank you. I think I might make a visit there then."
That would be nice. and she just kind of nods. And as you guys finish your sentences, you realize the guests are starting to enter the area. You see, well, definitely a lot of dwarves for starters. You see one, well, dude with like heavy beard and like really well dressed robes just kind of walks in with a bunch of like dwarves surrounding him. Just kind of looks well, the common looking you would expect to be like a well established high, well, status kind of successful businessman kind of style just walks in, and surrounding him are the dwarves. Some of them looks kind of familiar to you, but yeah, they were tending to their own business, so didn't really pay you much attention. As the dwarf walk in, you can see him talking to various people that are starting to walk into the banquet, and there are one, well, kind of fine-looking knights in shining armor. That's quite literally what it looks like, with like a brazen symbol of the sun in front of his chest, and you can tell that from his stance, he's very well trained soldier or officer in his rank, and he also talks to the wealthy looking business dwarf. Just kind of talks, and the two of them walks in. You heard the servants in the front gate just chant, welcome Sir Tyrone and Sir Solaris. So yeah, you caught the Frederick kind of winks as he like heard the name Solaris, and he just whispered. He walks towards you guys and just whispers, "Well, looks like we got ourselves quite and big company. Look what the cat dragged in." That would be, well, Sovereign Solaris' nephew, Gaston Solaris. Yeah. He just kind of whispers and just kind of gently fade into the background and trying not to get attention from any of the other guys. Yeah. And just continue saying, so, ladies, beware. Yeah, just, he can be quite full of himself sometimes. But yeah, just basically just watch out, and yeah, you guys will be fine. It's a party after all. So yeah, after that, there are some kind of noble just walks in with their families, and like ladies dressed in like fancy robes, just kind of the usual upper class society you would expect. Just kind of walks in, and afterwards it kind of goes on for about 30 minutes or 40 minutes or so, until eventually you heard kind of the entering of that makes everyone just kind of go silence, and it's that moment you see the servants in the front door saying, welcome for our host, our grandiose host tonight, Sovereign Blackfeather's queen. Yeah, and just hold on a sec. trying to find the image as well as. Sorry about that. All right. So. Okay. All right. Where are you? Okay. Yeah. Well, somehow the image is lost.
Uh-oh.
Which is weird. But anyway, I'll find the substitute real quick. In the meantime, you just saw like kind of dashy looking elf, like kind of it's hard to describe because she has no expression on her face. It's like you don't see grief on her face now that you know that Sovereign Blackfeather has passed, her husband has passed, but you also don't see any sort of emotion. It's like she's just pale and just dead quiet at this moment.
Tally respects that kind of poker face and blend a little bit further into the shadow.
Yeah, just blend a little bit further. So yeah,
I sort of like look nervously from like the queen to Tally, and then the queen, and then back to Tally again. Sort of.
Yeah.
I sort of just like lean in to say, "You gonna be okay out there?" Or?
I'm gonna be fine, darling. Thank you. We're gonna have an interesting party.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So I'm gonna just find a token X. Please be welcome to use your imagination because the token is lost on me. I have no idea why. All right. So she just walks in. Yeah. A question mark. There's a lot of use for that. Yeah.
Strangely fitting.
Yeah. So yeah, you just saw some guests are gathering around the table. You also see some numerous people you have never encountered in your life and just managed to appear. And yeah, so there's that. You also see amongst them Captain Knox. It's talking to two of the warrior dressing people, just kind of talking to them. Yeah, so there's that. You also see the dwarves that were surrounding him, just kind of walks a little bit further away at this point. Yeah. So, what would you like to do at this point?
I'm out of place. I'm pretty quiet.
Okay.
I sort of look around and get a read on some of these on some of these new people here before I go up to try and talk to any of them.
All right. So first, you two are here. Sorry. You are here. All right. So you get a decent look. The lady on your left, when the viewpoint you saw from here, though wrapped around in heavy cloth and cloaks, you can tell that she's an half orc, and yeah, very well plain looking half orc actually. Uh, the with like weapons stowed away on her like sheath, and you can see daggers hiding in underneath her cloaks. It just gives out and really well like seasoned vibe of a warrior. Um, maybe a more clandestine one. Yeah. And as from afar, this one is Commander Knox, as you can see.
Right.
Yeah. For Viking, you immediately recognize him. The guys he's talking to, one of the guys looks foreign, like he's traveled far to this land. You guys don't see that really often. He's got yellow skin, slightly smaller, narrowed eyes, and like really, kind of like lean nose. Like the entire facial figure is like not from this realm kind of look. Yeah, and besides him is and another elf. This time looks different than Tully. She's more like purplish in skin tone. So for Tully, you easily recognize that's one of the other clan of the elves, the Moon Elves. They're known for kind of like darker tone, like kind of purplish tone of skin.
Nice. I let Lavinia, I let the others know what I do.
So yeah, you and Rainy just looks around. Naira is also talking to kind of an officer on the other side. Yeah. So all around you see some people, not a really large amount. Just imagine there are like over 5 or 6 of the other faceless nobles. I wouldn't show their tokens just like because it's way too much work. If I need to fill in the whole area, it's like nope. So
the grayscale anime background characters are just like
bunch of background characters. Those are the ones that stand out amongst the crowd. Yeah.
What about this guy here?
Which one?
This guy right here.
Yeah. He just looks like he's got the symbol of the royal bastions on his shoulder. You know that too, Tolly, because royal garrison. Sorry. Because that's one of the first thing Lavinia, once you guys reunited, she introduced your father as the leader of the royal garrison. So there is the symbol of that. You can see like his face is covered in sweat, and like even amongst the crowds that seems to be at peace, enjoying their meals, he seems a little bit agitated, and he's the one that looks like he has some urgent matters, but are suppressed at this point, like can't really attend to it. But yeah, it's just like he's got something he wants to say, but couldn't at this point. Yeah.
All right. So, assuming that I recognize Knox over here, I think I actually want to sort of make my way over to where he is.
Okay. So you make your way over to Knox. Knox just stands there talking to those two who you assume are travelers. You can hear him as you walk closer. You can hear him saying, "You guys must come visit more often. Like I kind of send my regards to your parents or stuff like that, and yeah, just kind of says that. As you walk in, Knox kind of turns around towards you and says, "Oh, fancy meeting you here. I trust the servants didn't give you much trouble with the invitation."
Oh, no, not at all. No trouble. I just noticed you were here and came over to see what was going on.
Okay. Yeah, not much. Well, uh, quite honestly, evacuating the whole city has taken out a lot from me. So, yeah, I would like to, kind of use this moment, relax a little bit. That is also why I'm here. So, by the way, did you guys make it to the hiding with your friends? I mean, we opened up a lot of bunkers in order to hide from for civilians to hide from various dangers that might fall from the skies.
Yeah. About that, we may have gotten we kind of got sidetracked at one point, and some of our buddies have some of our friends have kind of sort of vanished on us, and
Vanished?
and
Huh. Anyone in particular I might be able to help?
uh, well, and so yeah, uh, uh,
Well,
uh, sorry, well, so does Knox know about Lavinia and like the other friends of ours, or?
You
He's met
don't
Althaea, and he probably knows like the
know.
basics.
You don't know. Well,
Hmm.
for Lavinia, I'll say you don't know because you never actually talked to him.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on the shifty guard, so Tali's
Yeah.
not there to intercede.
Right. Well, I sort of started saying like, well, one of the people we came here with is like suffering really badly from a cursed wound, and we came here hoping to find a way to find a solution to maybe cure her, and I start sort of like going into like how we sort of found a place to like hide out with like the
Yeah.
father, and then
Hmm.
like and I don't like tell him about the shadow
Mhm.
assassins and how they're and I don't mention like how it might be they might be going after specifically Tally, but
Mhm.
I just sort of say that we got sort of waylaid, uh, we sort of ran into a bit of like minor trouble at one point, and when we came back to the place we were staying, that they were that our friends were gone, and that a bunch of like the Iron Forge dwarves were searching the place. So
Hmm.
and I'm sort of saying like, and then they found us, and then we kind of had to drive them off, but now we have no idea where they've where they've gone or where they are now or what's even happening to them, and it's kind of a bit of a mess right now.
As you were saying that, you saw, well, the wealthy-looking dwarf business person just kind of walks towards you and just says, "Ooh, Commander Knox. Oh, fancy meeting you here. Who is this young lady you might introduce me to?" And he kind of gives you a wink. Knox kind of just says, "Well, yeah. He kind of looks at you and just says, I know you must be one with Viking, but I never really catch your name. You are with Viking, the guy,
The Riddler,
right?
or the Joker.
Yeah, the Joker.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Tally and I are friends of his.
So
You know, like,
who?
yeah,
First time you called me a friend.
Well,
we bought-
forgive me, but I don't think you ever introduced yourself. You can see right now his expression is kind of half mixed awkward because you weren't really giving him a time to cut in and says, "I'm sorry, who are you?" And so and like that's kind of the expression he's had on his face of not knowing who you are, but don't really want to be rude to cut you off because he knows you are probably one with Viking whom he talked to before.
I sort of go like, "Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. I never really like properly met you. But my name's Rainy Mycroft,
Okay.
and I guess you could say that Viking, Tally, and I have been sort of adventuring together for a while now. But
Okay.
we only just recently visited. We're only just recent visitors. Well, Viking and I are only recent visitors to Lex.
Yeah, that part I would know. So, all right. On here we have Rainy Mycroft and meet Tyrone Ironforge. Tyrone, this lady just got here. She's a friend of mine. So, yeah, just play nice. And he kind of nods at Rainy, and just before he left, he says, whispers to you, Rainy, just says, "I'll look into it," and just starting to walk towards Viking, actually. Viking, at this point, you see Commander Knox is walking towards you. You also see Rainy is now stuck with one dwarf, just like starting to talk, trying to kind of a get to know you situation. What would you like to do?
I don't know if he'll actually recognize me in my getup.
Oh yeah, the getup.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at you, kind of not sure. He kind of looks around because, well, the people around you, Viking, basically they just kind of try to pretend you do not exist. It's like it's just socially awkward to bring it up, so they just decided, hey, we just pretend we don't see you. So yeah, no one bothered you this way though. That is a good sign. But yeah, no one was willing to talk to you at the same time. But all right. At this point, Commander Knox kind of walks towards you and says, "Viking?" in a really unsure tone.
I laugh like.
Yeah, that's probably
like,
right.
And yes.
All right. So a word aside, please, and
Oh, this is one of my companions,
okay.
and I'll introduce Tully.
Okay. So you introduce her, Tully. Yeah, you kind of
Pleasure to finally meet you, Commander.
introduce yourself to Commander. Commander just nods to both of you and just says, I also met one of your really, talkative friends over there, so there's that. And I would like to ask, on the side, let's find us someplace quieter.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Let's ride.
All right. He walks you guys to the side. No, for now. Sorry. Whoops. Come here. Right. So the queen is now talking at the table with Gaston, and you guys, with you, the commander just kind of ducks to the side. So yeah. And once you guys are in a place you sure you won't be, eavesdropped, and he continues saying, well, your friend mentioned something, somewhat of a trouble you guys encounter with the Black Forge, with the Ironforge clan. Didn't I said not to mingle with them? I mean,
they came to us.
They were killing kids.
They were what? You see the expression turns concern at this point, and he continues saying, "What kids and where? If that were true, then we could charge him for murder, and that way you won't get away with it. Do you have any proof, any evidence, anything we could use?"
I'm afraid we stopped those immediately responsible. We have we kept one of the children to the side, the one that was murdered, in Father Dwayne's home. But Viking, I believe, collected a medallion from one of the men that attacked us.
Yeah, and it was more of a, if we didn't stop them, they were going to continue killing people, so we kind of dispatch them.
Oh. Wait, so you killed some of them?
We defended ourselves.
You can see his expression turn, somewhat, like he recognized, like, it's necessary for you guys to defend yourself, but also, that means bigger problems kind of look, and just says,
my concern, though, was whatever agenda they had, a gigantic wall of fire wasn't enough to persuade them to leave. They continued to attack us. That's how crazy they were. So I think, if you ask me, defending ourselves was the only thing we could do. We tried to talk.
Yeah, we tried to talk them down. But they still didn't listen.
The thing about that is, it's like your words against his.
I know, Commander. I'm sorry.
Especially if you claim they are murdering. They can't say the opposite way around. They were trying to defend the kids when you guys were there. I mean,
Would the kid's testimony hold more water?
Yeah.
Well, and there's also the fact that
have
the father's
witnesses?
also missing.
Do you possess one? Do you bring them here? If
No,
that's
I
the
sent them to
case,
safety.
we can confront them immediately. Also, I look up to Father Dwayne as well. So his missing will be really bad. But can you guys provide me any clues that can, pin him to, tie him to his missing? Is it possible?
We're still trying to figure out that as well. I don't think... I looked at Tully, I'm like...
I've got nothing. We could try bait out I'm sure I saw an Iron Forge here before. See if they'll tell us anything, but...
Yeah, true. Well, that is one thing we can do. Sorry. So, for the fat-looking dwarf guy, here you go. That's Tyron.
Yeah.
I also mentioned... I can't remember his name. The
Frederick?
Frederick.
Yeah.
I don't know if Frederick... Is he like an outstanding citizen, or is he just like gonna get thrown in jail kind of citizen?
Well...
I'm asking you out of character. Because if I'm just curious on whether or not it's worth name dropping that he was there.
Out of character?
Yeah. Because we've been with him now for a while.
Intelligence check. Just a plain intelligence check. Judging by what you perceive of him, judging by what he told you.
15.
Yeah, so you quickly think this through your mind. So Frederick feels like an information dealer. That is usually not the kind that would, walk alongside of the law. And he did mention that he's, kind of left the military service before.
But that also, as an information dealer, you generally have a reputation of not lying, because your information is no good if it's, bullshit. So I'm gonna tell him.
That's the thing. So on one hand, you feel like, yeah, he's really good at his job. He's really good at collecting information and sells them, but not usually the law-abiding type. Sometimes if you want to gather good intel, you would have to,
Yeah, but sometimes also information dealers, like I'd imagine that the captain here occasionally might have need for his type of information.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be like, we also had Frederick with us. He was attacked as well, and I know he's well known in these areas, and I'm sure you've crossed paths with him before.
Frederick.
I understand that he's probably not
at this at this moment. He just like
he's not one to normally twist tales. If you know what I mean.
Why he's dishonorably discharged, you would feel the same emotion I'm feeling right now. And on one side, he is really good at scouting. He's really good at his work. On the other hand, well, no one would take his work for over the court. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah, but let's be honest. You and I are having a conversation right now. We're not talking courts. We're talking not military, but you know what I mean. The man of service to man of, you know what I mean. I'm military, yeah. And this is us talking right now, and you know as well as I do that the man likes to have coin for what he says, but what he says is not untruthful.
True. The thing is,
And I'll try and do a persuasion check on you.
Okay, so go ahead, roll for persuasion check. All right.
15. Same as the intelligence check.
Yeah. So he looks at you and just says, "I, hear me out. I'm not disagreeing with you. I can't definitely look into Taiwan, which is something I've been dying to do for, well, almost 5 years now. The thing is, unless I get something worthy of an evidence, I can't go on to search the man's place or his properties. I mean, we like the street all knows he's the charge. He's the leader of the Iron Forge, but no one can touch him. Why? Because he's also a council member. He's fucking council lead. So we can't just go on press charges if we don't have something solid. So that's what I'm saying. If you can provide me witnesses, someone with credibility, someone who wouldn't be dismissed on a court, then I would have proper reasons to search his place, to put him into custody. I don't know, to work through the due process. But I can't just take him in without any lead. So give me something. Do you have it? Do you have something I can use? Just not Frederick. I mean, we can use as source of information, yes, but that's on the down low. It's not. It's something we do, not something we talk.
All we have are the children's testimonies, and I'd rather not bring them into this.
The truth is,
We do have proof that they were the ones that attacked us.
what are the proofs?
Oh, it's pretty damning proof.
Oh, God. Yep.
So, care to show it to me? I mean, if you have something, now it's the time.
This is not the place, though. This might be the time, but not the place.
Okay. He looks around. You're right. We're being constantly watched by the forest shadow, so you know what? Meet me after the party in my office. You know where to find me, so
Yep.
Yeah. Just talk to Jerry in the front. He will
He gave me some kind of a symbol.
Yeah, he will
or
let you in.
deal or
So,
whatever.
yeah, just
Yeah.
I'll put Jerry specifically in the front. Just find him. Don't talk to anyone else. Just find him and come meet me. He will know what to do. So yeah, and he kind of knocks towards all of you, Tolly and Viking, and just says, "Oh wow, it's nice meeting you, but I think I'll need to talk to someone else today. That's also part of the reason why I'm here. I need to talk to someone else. It's always talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He just gives you guys like a slight bow and just kind of walks to the other side of the table. Yeah. So, at this moment, Rivani, you were being pestered by this fat-looking dwarf. Who's trying to get his greasy palm on you, just like, "Oh, lady, so, tell me more about your story. You were saying." Yeah.
Like, does he mean like my life story, or?
Yeah. Because you remember you were cut off talking to introducing yourself to Commander Knox, so
Oh, right, yeah.
he must have caught a whiff of that and just like kind of like pestering you down right now, just trying to get a story out of you. Yeah. Well, with occasionally not well behaved hands, like, you know, greasy palms everywhere, just trying to grab onto something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I sort of, I sort of start like sort of awkwardly. I sort of telling him a bit about where I'm from, and I sort of start mentioning some of the previous adventures that Viking and I have had back in Faerun.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Ooh, fascinating. And he's trying to put his hand on your waist. It's like just trying to, grab around you. It's just like, tell me more. Just like, kind of like a fat guy just trying to get a hold of you. Yeah.
Tully and I are gonna go back to where we were.
Okay.
I think. Because we're off on our own. We're not gonna stand around and
Yeah, definitely.
be seedy and brooding.
You're definitely gonna try to walk around, talk to other people.
Actually, I'll go. Be like, yeah, we should maybe go save Vane.
Yeah, if we see that, I'm just like, at what point does it match up how long we talked to Commander Knox?
Yeah,
at this moment, you guys are still talking to Commander Knox. Remember, Commander Knox left, and like this happens simultaneously as you guys are talking to Commander Knox.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no one's saving poor Lavinia from getting.
I'm like, she's gonna be engaged by the time we get back.
Yes. So yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So do you let him, or do you just wiggle away? Just try to.
I sort of like try to sort of wriggle away, but like I try to do it in such a way that I'm not trying to be outright rude.
Okay, so you're trying to be subtle. So, I would say roll me a
fireball.
No, acrobatics check with disadvantage because you're not trying to be rude. You're trying to conceal. All right, that's a 1. So you feel his greasy palm on your waist and just like wrapped around you, just close, and yeah. You couldn't wiggle away. That's the thing. However, as his paw is right near your waist, you feel this cold pressure on the side of your waist, and his voice suddenly turned cruel, and just saying, and harsh, and just saying, walk with me.
Okay.
That's not super rapey.
Yeah. So.
Does
this smell like the sleep spell?
Nah.
Your rag.
Yeah. No. Definitely not a modern day roofie. If that's what you're worrying about. Well, not a traditional roofie. If that's what you're worrying about. But yeah. You feel this cold sensation on the side of your waist. You don't even need to look at it to know that it's a dagger.
Yeah. I visibly tense up and I sort of glance at him a lot more warily now.
Okay.
But I sort of comply with him for now, like just to.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you maintain the facade of everything's all right, everything's calm, and you notice Tyron just says, "Keep quiet, keep your mouth shut, and we'll have a walk." And he took you to the side, alongside. You kind of talk to, you kind of see him talk to other guests, and they were laughing and kind of jokingly mock him for getting his hands on you, and he also uses stupid voice trying just respond in hilarious words like yeah, I got lucky and stuff like that. But underneath all the fake smiles, Raveni, because you are so close range, you can see those smiles are just flesh. Just the flesh movement. Underneath his eyes, he's cold and calculative and cunning. Yeah. And he just walks you to the side. At this moment, your friends are too far away to kind of save you from this pinnacle situation, and yeah, so he walks you to the side of the forest, into the garden. You are now back into the garden yourself. Hold on, let me just move it back.
I looked at Tully. Well, Ravani's dead, so let's move on.
No.
You got murdered too, dude.
Yeah. Everyone's dead. Yay. No, but as you enter the forest, you see Tyrone kind of wave his hand, and two of the dwarves just kind of stand guard on the front entrance of the gate, the garden. And then he just says, "Now, who are you? And what did you tell the commander?" Talk.
Well,
Now.
Okay. It's a little difficult to get my thoughts together when there's a freaking dagger in my side.
Pardon me. How about now? And he moved his dagger gently from the waist to your throat.
Okay, that's not really better.
Isn't it better? Now talk.
I mentioned that some of our friends went missing from the place we were staying at, and that we're trying to find them.
His eyes narrows, looking down at you, and he turns around and says, "Walrus, is it her? Is she part of their group?" You see, the dwarf you guys met at the marketplace, where Viking had quite an argument with, walks forward towards,
Fucking dwarves.
sees you, and just says, "Yeah, that's right, boss. That's the one. I saw her with the other chick, with that freaking pale freak in the marketplace. They're a team." People. You humans. You just couldn't let us do our business. You just have to meddle with it. Just have to get in our ways. Be obnoxious. Tyrone just kind of talking to both you and Walrus at this point. He just says, well, we can't actually offer in this place. We also can't let her just walk away. To be quite a mouthful. Talk more about what we're doing here and what we're about to do. What else do you know? He turns around, forcing the dagger a little bit closer to your throat. You can feel the sharpness of the blade leaning against just few millimeters away from your throat.
I sort of look at him as sort of defiantly as I can, as I sort of reply, I know that I know that your cleric Flunky was willing to kill kids to get what he wanted. Is that really the kind of people you have working for you?
Don had his fetish. I wouldn't judge, as long as he's useful. Speaking of which, you definitely met with him, so I'm gonna ask you one more time. What do you know? And he turns, before you can answer, he actually turns around towards and says, "Has Dawn returned?" "Sorry, boss. No news. They've been there for like almost a day. I mean, the common ground could be messy. I mean, people are in shelter. They could be trying to find a clue. I don't know." Okay. What are you talking? What are you trying to utter? Tyrone just turned around and looked at you as you're kind of making sounds, uttering words underneath.
You having trouble finding somebody of yours?
What?
I sort of say like coyly.
Yeah, in a kind of sharp tone. And yeah, Tyrone just presses blade a little bit closer to your throat, just slightly closer than before, and just says, "What? You know something? Spill."
Well, what do I want to say? Well, I could tell you, but you probably wouldn't like the answer very much. But I could tell you.
I'll be the judge of that. Now spill before I open up your throat.
We were there when we saw him kill one of the kids at the father's house, and then he was dumb enough to try and mess with us. You could probably figure out how that went on from there.
It's impossible. He grinning. He gritted. This is the first time you see actual like kind of unease and like sort of like rage underneath. He's just like, "You? Impossible. He's a trained cleric with a dozen of my men. You're merely but 3.
Yeah. We're just free adventurers with a fair bit of experience under our belts. But yeah, just 3 of us. And I know I might look, and I know I usually look fairly adorable, and I usually have a fairly cherub-like demeanor. But then when someone comes along your cleric flunky and takes an innocent life, you would not like me when that sure demeanor goes away. And I'm going to roll intimidation.
All right. That's really nice. All right, 13. He looks at you like you can see him, the rage underneath, but then it just kind of gently subsides and fades away. Now he became hard to read again. This time, you can't really tell whether or not the intimidation have taken effect, but he, after like a few moments of quietness, he just kind of burst out into laughter, just like, ha! It's like, girl, you tell a really nice story. But that's just about it. Stories. I have faith in my men. I know their strength. And kids like you cannot possibly defeat them. Walrus, send another team. Find Dawn. Wherever the hellhole he lies himself, whatever the bar he is, like drunken and sleeping inside, grab him, find him, and slap him. And for you, our big talk girl, you are of no use to me. You're just a loose end. And we all know what we deal with loose ends. And you just feel this heavy knock on the back of your skull. Yeah. Roll me a Constitution check.
Okay.
Yeah, so you felt this huge hit on the back of your skull, and at first it's just numb, then it's like excruciating pain before you went down on the floor, and the last sight you saw is Tyrone turning his back on you, and then darkness. Yeah, you're just knocked unconscious.
Oh crap.
Yeah. All right. Back to the group right now. So, Ravinia, for Viking and Tolly, you guys return to the party with Ravinia nowhere to be found.
Okay. Immediate internal panic. Where? I know she was last talking to the dwarf, so is he back?
No, the dwarf is also gone as well. However,
maybe they went to have some alone time.
Yeah.
However, I just looks at you as a storm.
Yeah. Just we both know that's bullshit.
Oh my god. However, you also notice that Frederick is also gone at this point.
Shit.
Is what's his name? The little turd burglar here.
Mm-hmm.
Is he actually here or with Ravani?
The homunculi.
Yeah, the homunculi? Yeah, it's with Ravani at this point.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Right.
Token gone.
Sorry, couldn't remember its name. Turd burglar sounded okay.
Bright eyes. Bright eyes. Always
Bright eyes. There we go.
Yeah, bright eyes.
Yeah, and I had Snickerdoodle as the horse. Right.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna start talking to the guests where we left Ravani. Like, have you seen my friend? Where's she gone?
Oh, you were.
I'm just
so you
scaring
asked
people.
to the guest. You noticed that Naira just approached you and says, "Last time I saw, she went with this dwarf. Well, she went with Mr. Ironforge. I mean, they may be having some alone time. I won't judge. I mean, I don't know your friend's taste, so yeah, I wouldn't judge.
I assure you, Ravani is like the most racist person you would know. She would never go with a dwarf. I just say this outright.
Yes.
Like, absolutely hate. Like, I'm surprised she didn't kill him right here.
Wow.
Just like.
Spreading bad rumors left and right.
Yeah. In that case, I think
God damn it,
he
Ricky.
looks like a little bit, kind of like okay.
And I'm like intimidating, but serious faced with
yeah,
all
I
the
know.
makeup.
Like you can't tell if he's joking or not. So, yeah, neither can Naira. She's like, okay. So.
Wow.
Yeah, they went into the garden. In that case, that does sound like the alarm.
It's probably a bloodbath.
I clap both hands on her shoulders. Thank you. I'm gone.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you ran into the garden just as fast as you can. So let's see. Hold on. Yeah, you ran into the garden as fast as you can. Just in time to see Frederick kind of fighting against 3 dwarves, all silently. This is like a match of silence. Like all of them are like skilled sword fighters and like dagger users. However, they do it in a way so subtle and does not cause any other noises than it should. Well, just trying to avoid getting caught on the alarm as they were doing the sword fight. Sorry. Yeah, they're here. Are these? And you see, not far away, Ravani's unconscious body just lies on the ground.
Pulse.
Yeah, sorry. Temporarily unconscious, so sleep.
Right.
Token. Yeah.
Did I take any bludgeoning damage from that knockout blow, by the way?
Well, this is considered unconscious state, so yeah.
Does this rag smell like sleeping potion? Or sleeping, sleeping potion.
Well, I would say, I wouldn't, so at this point, I wouldn't deduct your hit points, but it's more like you were forced into, like, a sleep or a coma, or instant unconscious, as I would call it.
Alright.
So, yeah, you don't lose any hit points, but at the end, you will make a con save to try regain consciousness. Yeah, every turn.
Instant concussion.
Yeah, instant concussion. Yeah. Alright, so I would like you two to roll. Well, all 3 of you to roll. No. Yeah, actually, all 3 of you, because I need to calculate your con save. So, yeah, roll me initiatives. Initiative time.
Oh, dear.
Alright,
Man.
Frederick is gonna roll for his.
Wow.
Oh, he's doing pretty well.
Great.
Frederick. And he's got a 19. Not bad. Alright, so the dwarves. I'm gonna roll for theirs. Actually, I'm gonna ask. Hold on. Let's just add the dwarf. Dwarf. DW. Dwarf. Let's see. Dwarves. Roll. roll them their initiative. Okay. Not bad. Alright. So, in that case, yeah. So Frederick is gonna go first, as he also rolls for stealth check. Okay. So his first blade kind of misses. Okay. His second blade hits on the dwarf and dealing quite some damage, as you can tell. And that will be the end of his turn. Now will be your turn. He's gonna use his bonus action. Well, you can see a few cut wounds on his bodies already. So he's been fending the ground for a couple of minutes or so, and apparently he's outnumbers and out weapon. So yeah. He's gonna use his bonus action to give you, Tali, a sign that basically says, "Keep it quiet."
Yep.
And yeah, and you can tell that from the fighting he was doing, not a single sound he made, neither as the dwarves. So
I cast Toll of the Dead. No, I'm kidding.
ding dong, just kind of knocks on the door. Yeah, just being blunt. All right. So,
Actually, I think it does say it makes a loud ass noise.
Yeah, as loud as possible.
There's no. Sorry.
What would you like to
It's
do?
good.
Like, if that's your strategy, then do it, because you don't know the sign. You don't know shit
and
about
it's
what
not my
Frederick
turn.
just, yeah.
Yeah, I can't gesture to him because it's not my turn.
Yeah, it's not
No,
your turn yet.
I'll come up here, and
I will
I
say,
am going.
you know what, Viking? I will say you can do a kind of a insight check first.
No, I don't care. Word of Radiance is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So they do a con check and things within 5 feet. Each creature of your choice, so 5 feet. These two would
Okay.
take 5 points of radiant damage.
So these two, right?
Yep.
Okay. So if they fail or if they succeed?
If they fail, if they succeed, it's 0.
Okay.
It's a cantrip.
Okay. So
I took magic initiative and cleric.
nice. So 14 you said. They rolled really low, so yeah, that definitely hurts them. You see, like this bright. As you speak of this word, it took kind of hold of the actual reality, and you can see that their armor is being burned by this specific word of radiance. And though it's a pale, glowing light, but it seems like it burns, and they all suffer 5 points. That's nice. And
And I'm gonna knock this one. Attempt to knock him prone.
okay, do it.
Where is my athletics? There we go. It is a 10.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of uses weapon. You can see, unlike the ones you fought in front of Father Dwayne's last shelter, where they usually fight loud and they weren't afraid of doing like blunt force defense. This time they artfully use their weapon to knock the side of your shield up away, instead of just bluntly take it. So to avoid loud noises. Alright, that will be the end of your turn. At the end of your turn, roll me a stealth check. I know. The battle man. Alright,
10.
so 10. Alright.
With disadvantage.
Yeah, it's still a 10. I'll take that into awareness. So, yeah, now will be the dwarf's turn. Alright. They, at the start of their turn, is gonna... Okay, they roll golden. So... Alright. What's your AC?
19.
19? Alright, so the first attack misses, but the second attack hits.
Okay.
Like it artfully avoid, like kind of block the weakness into your defense, and just hit with the side of the warhammer, dealing 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
-10. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the third. Well, the third attack he's gonna aim for Frederick. Frederick he also misses Frederick, so there's that, and all 3 attack. This guy is gonna try to do 1, 2. Holy shit! All 2 attack hits. All right. You can see now. Frederick's been pancaked, like so many sides just pounding on him, and he's just taking a lot. You can see that no matter how much hits he has taken, he still stands firm right in front of Romania, which is a good thing.
Which one was attacking him?
The one on the back. This one. Sorry.
Like this one?
Yeah, this one. Ding ding ding.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He was attacking you, with both of it, and the final attack he tries to attack Frederick but miss.
Okay.
Right, so there's 2 of them, and now will be this guy's turn. This guy is gonna move aside. Just like roll opportunity attack all you want. Frederick is gonna land the opportunity attack by stabbing him in the back. That will be.
Nope.
Yeah, your semi-sealed fate just kind of cut on the back of his armor, and he's gonna move towards Ruveni. Kind of hit her again on the back of her skull. So mark that, Ruveni, you will have disadvantage on your saving throw, and then he's gonna grab you with the bonus action and try to drag you away. Yeah, that's about as far as he can go. That's it. That'll be his turn. So Ruveni, roll me a con save with disadvantage.
Takes. Oh, nice.
That's nice. You feel this excruciating pain on the back of your skull, but you can kind of come out from that foggy and darkness that you were facing, and you can see now you're under a dwarf's arm that are moving fastly forward, trying to, carry you away. So you still have no clue what had happened, besides you got smacked on the back of your skull. Yeah. So that will be the end of your turn. That will be Tolly's turn. Tolly, what would you like to do? Yeah.
I am going to dash after Ravani.
Okay, you do that. So you use your bonus action to dash. That will be, you were here, so 30. Okay, you can definitely do that, but that'll be all of your movement. Yeah, including dash. So 30. Oh, you got
movement
35 feet of movement, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm
you
fast.
still have 20 feet more if you want to move around. Yeah. True.
Well then I'll block him.
Okay.
The direction he's going.
So yeah, you artfully dodge around like a whirlwind, just like swoop right in front of the dwarf, in front of his face. So what would you like to do?
I'm going to keep it quiet. I'm going to use my kitchen knives.
Okay. Yeah, good choice. So your kitchen knife just kind of stab, and his armor. Yeah, you just make.
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of.
Upset.
Yeah, you kind of stab him from his least expected. So yeah, that damage, nice. So you stab him into his arm. Which
Try to get him to drop off, yeah.
Yeah, so you were with that dagger strike, you were trying to force him to drop Ruveni?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's making a constitution save. Yeah, for that I would say the DC is 19 because of the strike. So yeah, he dropped Ruveni just like, on the side of the arm, just dropped it. Yeah. And however, the sneak attack doesn't the sneak attack applies because he's not fully aware of their existence. So 17, 21. Okay. Okay. So that will be the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now that will be Frederick's turn. Frederick, at the end of your turn, Tully, roll me a stealth check. All right. Nice. All right. So, on the beginning of Frederick's turn, he's gonna move. He's gonna actually move. Not move. He's gonna actually quietly speak to Viking as his. Don't make such a noise. And then he's gonna cut into those two, and he's gonna use his bonus action to disengage, and then, he's gonna try to stab this guy, and shit, he failed on his strike, so entirely misses. That will be the end of his turn, and he's gonna roll for, yep. Alright, so Viking. Roll me a perception check first. Yeah, you heard nothing. But, I think everything's cool. Yeah, there's nothing around here. Why is Frederick being so paranoid? Ugh, sick of this guy. So you just hammer away. What would you like to do?
First guy?
Yeah,
so,
first guy.
knock him prone.
Alright. He's gonna make a strength save. Well, what can I say? He rolled a natural 20, so boop. Yeah. He artfully dodges your shield. It's hard to imagine a heavy armored dwarf that can do such a artistically dodge. Yeah, so the Samuel Fate, however, as he do a double spin, just hits him in the back. Yeah, dealing 11 slashing damage.
And he's still up, I take it. So I will do a Divine Smite as well.
Alright, do it.
At level 2.
Alright, so... Whoa! 14.
So he takes...
14 points of damage?
No. 1, because I cast it at up level.
Mm-hmm.
And then 7, so 8 points of damage.
Okay.
The other number is also if he's a fiend or undead, he takes an additional blah. So a total of 19 points of damage.
Okay, cool. So, you
how's he looking?
Smack him pretty hard. He's looking rough, but not down. Alright.
And then I swing again for 19.
Alright. Well, that definitely hits. Roll for damage.
6.
Alright. He's still standing, but he looks rough.
Yeah, I don't know if I can actually. Yeah, okay.
Alright. Excuse me, I would need to use the bathroom. Real quick, I'll be back. Just a few seconds.
Alright.
I'll take this up back in a sec.
I'll be back.
Alright. I'll go get some water in the meantime.
sorry about that. Back. So yeah.
No worries.
Let's resolve that. So yeah, Viking hit him really hard. At the end of that, Viking, I will need you to roll me a stealth check.
I'm stepped away from the computer. Did you want to roll it for me?
Yeah, sure.
I have a disadvantage though.
Yeah, true. Stealth. Alright. Woo, that's pretty good. Yeah, so that will be the end of your turn. Now will be the dwarf fighter's turn. Dwarf fighter, seeing that you are right in front of their face, this guy is gonna try to move away actually. You can do an opportunity attack on him, Viking, if you want to. So I will help you roll for the attack. If you want
Yeah,
to.
just a semi-sealed fate.
All
That's
right.
fine.
So
And I'm just heading back downstairs.
okay, cool. Semi-sealed fate. Let's see. Attack. Alright. That's definitely a hit. Yeah, you marked him really good. Yeah. The cut wounds and the signs shown indicates he's looking really rough. But this guy, however, he is gonna actually... sorry, he's not gonna run this direction, actually. He's gonna run to the other side of the direction. Just 25 feet. Let's see. 25. Yeah. 25
Back.
feet. He's gonna use all his movement, though. Yeah, about here. Alright, that's it for him. This guy is gonna look at Rainy, and he's gonna swoop in and try to grab her actually.
Alright.
Yeah, roll me a roll me a strength save. He's gonna roll for a strength check.
14.
Good for you. He rolled a 1.
Oh, nice.
So, as the dwarf getting closer, you see Frederick kind of do this like sidestep and put his foot out and kind of trip the dwarf a little as he walks through. So he just couldn't grab you on the side, just like he even tumbles a little bit forward, and yeah. That will be the end of his action and his movement. Yeah, that will be the end of his turn actually. He can't really do much. This guy right in front of Tali's face is gonna try to... Actually, he's gonna try to grab Lavinia as well. Roll me another strength save.
I like yell from around the corner. I'm like, God, Rainy, what did you promise these weirdos?
Yeah.
We're all hands tonight.
Alright. So, yeah, these dwarves are rolling really low tonight. He misses you again just by inches. So he grabs you by the arm, but you don't feel their grips are so strong, so you shake it off, just like ding. And yeah, that will be the end of their turn actually. He's actually gonna move one step closer to the side. He's like adjusting sides. That will be the end of his turn. Alright, Ravani, it's your turn now. You are prone at this point, but you are conscious. You're back to consciousness. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I sort of spring to my feet and sort of just say to them like, "Hey, you're gonna regret that." And I sort of lunge at one of the dwarves to cast a shocking grasp on them.
Oh, nice. Roll me a spell attack. Well, roll me an attack with the shocking grasp. Let's see. Nice. Nice. That definitely hits. Definitely hits. Roll me damage.
Wait, was that? Okay, yeah. All right, that was.
Yeah. It's like your spell attack bonus, I believe. It's an attack, so. Oops. Okay. 5 points of lightning damage. Not bad. So you. Yeah, you threaten them and you just gently poke them on the side, just like. Yeah. So which one? Which one did you grasp?
I guess the one directly south.
Okay. So a little quick poke crow, just tap him back.
Yeah.
Like tag, you're up. And yeah, you see him get shocked. He needs to make a con save for something. Yeah, he makes it. So you see him like kind of shocked and just like, but he didn't let out a yell or scream or a battle cry. So yeah, he's biting his tongue to keep it inside.
And so that guy can no longer take reactions until the start of his next turn.
Yep. I will mark him as so. Let's see. Mark. A no sign would be good. Alright.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Is that all?
Let's see.
Oh, music. Shit. Forgot to change.
Oh. I think I'm also gonna burn one of my second level spell slots to just misty step right out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Do your mission.
So yeah. Once I zap the dwarf, I just sort of use misty step and go sort of poof right out of there, and then I'll reappear right beside Viking.
Okay. Nice.
And as I sort of pop up next to him, I sort of tell him like, thank God you guys got here when you did.
Playing hard again, eh?
Oh my god. Yeah.
It was not like that, and you know it.
All
I
right.
hadn't seen you at these parties. I figured you just went wild.
Nice.
Just help me deal with these, please.
The pun is so rich here, but yeah. Anyway, roll me a stealth check.
If I was evil, I would like, with the back of my sword, just smack you with my, like, knock you out again. But I'm not evil, so you're saying
Oh my god.
you're asking for help, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Roll me a stealth check at the end. Ooh. Nice.
He's just asking us to do this because he knows we've rolled mostly ones. But you guys have rolled mostly ones tonight, so
Yeah, you will see the consequences once it's like someone.
knock on wood. I'm the only one without advantage on stealth checks.
Yet you still roll pretty high. It's like some miraculous keeping you guys balanced. But
Yep.
anyway,
I'm just eating
Until I
on that
cast the
one.
Toll of the
yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Tully, it's your turn now. What would you like to do?
Hey.
Your friend is out of danger.
Yes.
Everything seems fine.
I'm still living. I'm going to step in the middle of the one that's engaged with Frederick and
Okay.
stab him.
Okay. This one, right?
Yeah.
Do it. All right.
Mm,
So
great.
you.
Six
I'm gonna
kitchen knife.
stab. The blade just kind of dodge the guy's presence. The guy's just like look at you with a sense of I'm right here, you know.
Yeah. I just look at the kitchen knife. Just like,
All the
Why,
was, girl. What happened? Oh my god.
Oh, no.
But you miss him big times.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Embarrassed, I'm just going to disengage and step back too.
Yeah. Just like, "Boop, I'm out. All right. So
Nothing to see here. I'm just
yeah,
gonna back away.
Nothing to see
Yeah.
here. Nope. We're all friends. All right. That will be the end of Tolly's turn. Now it'll be Frederick's turn. Frederick is actually gonna signal you guys and just like doing this, and then just backwards.
Just run. Just
Yeah. So
Fuck it.
basically, he's telling you, leave. We gotta leave right now. And he's gonna do so. He's gonna use his he's gonna use his action to dash. Well, his bonus action to dash and his action to dash again. So he's gonna move out of this area entirely.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He's like,
fucker has like is fast for such short legs.
yep.
He's like, boom, just gone.
He's Sonic. Just that'll be the end of his turn. At the end of his turn, he's also gonna roll stealth, and he's rolled pretty nice. That'll be the end of his
Ooh,
turn.
I hate to be that person. I didn't roll
Yeah,
stealth.
you didn't roll stealth. Sorry, my bad. Roll for stealth.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see if that. Okay, that's okay. That's decent. Yeah, yeah, that's decent. All right, all right. So that'll be the end of your turn, and Frederick's turn. Now will be Viking's turn. Viking.
So what I'm going to do is I am going to hold my action until I know Irvani is
Save.
safe
Okay.
and escaping.
All right. So you're gonna hold your action and your movement.
Yes,
Okay.
because I'm afraid that these guys might try and rush her between now and then before
Okay.
she can escape.
Okay. So, in that case, I wouldn't ask you to roll me stealth check because you didn't move, you didn't fight. So yeah,
Yep.
you just stand guard there. So that will be the end of your turn. That will be the dwarf's turn. The dwarf's looking at Ravani, looking at Tully. Let's see, 30. No, 25. Yeah, so he's gonna move up close to Ravani and tries to, no, at this point, nah, probably not. At this point, this guy is gonna actually dodge. He's gonna get a half dodge as well. Run away. So this dude here, however, yeah, he's also gonna run. These fellas are all gonna run, just like something awful is chasing behind their back. Apparently they notice. So yeah, these three are just gonna get a hell of a dodge. So yeah, that'll be the end of their turn. Rainy, you're up. What would you like to do?
Yeah, once I see the door sort of start backing off, I just sort of stand down and sort of try and sort of brush off my dress as best as I can, and I sort of start asking is my dress still okay? I really hope I didn't dirty this thing, and I'm gonna start heading back.
Okay.
Sort of following after.
Frederick.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you go after Frederick. At the end of your turn, ready? Roll me a perception check.
I was sort of like muttering to myself, like, freaking Iron Force.
Yeah.
Freaking
Give a girl a break. Yeah.
19.
You heard, though real faint, and you are not quite sure how the hell you picked it up. You heard real faint footsteps that are coming closer. You can't discern the distance, but they are getting closer. Yeah.
Can I look around to see where it's coming from?
You get a faint idea it's coming from your right-hand side, but that's about it.
Yeah, I sort of try to like sort of shout, whisper to the others, like maybe we should probably maybe we should take Frederick's advice and just go. So, I don't.
Okay, is that all? So you whispered that to the group.
Yeah, just sort of like beckoning them over. Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be the end of your turn. Nice. That'll be Tolly's turn. Tolly, you heard the motion. You heard. Well,
since Ravinia left, I'm gonna go too.
Okay.
Because
so
I know Tolly is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
so
fleet-footed. I'll be there in a hot
action.
second.
Okay. So you use your action to move closer to Ravinia. Yeah. And Tolly, what would you like to do?
Just full dash up to them.
Okay, so you all full dash and mad dash out of the garden. The dwarves took their own way out, but anyway, the moment you guys left the garden, you can hear like some sort of gathering, like, and then some branch cracking sounds. Beyond that, it's like. If you didn't pay much attention, or if you are just a like drunk guest, you wouldn't notice that. But since you guys all heard Ravinia saying that, you kind of picked that up. It's not natural branches movement. It's gotta be something, but something that makes a dwarf scared. It's a sign. It's not a good sign. It's a sign of something bad. But anyway, at any rate, you guys come out of the garden just slightly wounded on the side with Viking. And Ravinia, you still feel the excruciating pain on the back of your skull. But beyond that, you guys are fine. Yeah. Yeah, you're back at the party. The party is still going at this point. And you can see the queen kind of you guys arrived just in the moment as the queen raised her glass, as all of the people of importance, of power, are gathering around her, and she just knocked on the side just with a spoon to call for attention, and then just says, as some of you may know, and this is why we're gathered here today. My beloved king, our beloved king, Sovereign Blackfeather, and my 2 daughters have passed. And you guys walk in right at the moment to see the queen stand up.
I say that's so horrible, and like with Tully within earshot.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
I'm just like quietly fussing over Ravinia, just like, okay, all right, leaves, get rid of that.
Yeah. Okay, so
meanwhile, there's blood like running down her forehead.
Yeah. You're making yourself quite noticeable in the crowd. Let's see if the queen notices you. All right.
Just like, she's bloody. I don't think that's gonna draw attention.
Yeah. So the queen looks.
I'm trying to be subtle.
Yeah, I know. In that case,
I'm like trying to
roll me stealth check, all of you. Just everyone, roll me stealth check. Come on, just one good roll can save you from an embarrassment. Probably lifelong sentence.
13.
All right, so the combined stealthiness is enough to save your ass. As the queen stand up, she doesn't seem to pay attention towards you guys as you are.
We just sort of like.
Yeah, you just
We just sort of slide back into the crowd as if nothing's wrong.
True. Alright, so the queen just keeps on and saying, and I have every reason to believe my daughter, my last daughter, Althaea, is also in grave danger. All because of one person.
Not my fault.
It is one who did this horrible, horrible deed.
I point to the nearest dwarf.
Yeah. Yeah, you just try to. No, not me. It's him.
Fucking dwarves.
Yeah, but no one at this moment pays much attention towards you. Actually, you heard the queen.
So I lean over to Lavinia. I'm like, try and keep your blatant racism for dwarves under wraps.
Oh my god.
Without explaining any context, just like, that's all.
Lavinia, you notice that Naira is keeping her distance away from you at this point. She noticed you're here, but she's not as welcoming as she was before. But anyway, you're so confused you don't have a clue. The queen continues saying, this particular person of interest, it's really hard to think that she is one of our blood. I now put on the most wanted list for Tolly Liaden. Whatever the false name she goes by at this point. Anyone who knows her whereabouts are to be rewarded for 5,000 gold piece.
I'm like,
you're trying to raise your hand. Do it. Make me a wisdom save at this point. Make me a wisdom save. That's valid. Let's see it. Let's see it. Okay.
15.
15. All right. Your hand is half raised. Just half raised.
I'm like hesitating on
and Tolly,
I like immediately try to slap his hand.
With your passive perception, you definitely notice Viking doing that.
Yeah, I'm just like, no, fair, it's $5,000. Yeah.
Alright.
I have faith that you could escape. That's just it.
Because I'm slowly backing up.
Yeah, you're slowly fading into shadows. Now, Tolly, maybe another stealth check.
Jesus Christ, this is about to go real bad.
No. Not as bad as you think. You manage to slide off into the distance without anyone knowing, and you notice the queen said, like the last few lines of word, she's now being charged for the crime of murdering our king, of treason to this country, and is wanted, dead or alive.
I'm pissed off. I'm like visibly angry.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so am I, yeah.
And you didn't include me? Like, I thought we were friends.
Oh my god. That's amazing. That's the most amazing part of all this. It's like, yes.
I'm like
didn't
upset
call me
that
as
you
your
think
crime buddy. You didn't call me go on murder.
That's all I was worried about. I don't
That's
give a fuck about anything.
amazing. Mad
For
salute to
my
you.
life, I didn't
Fucking
do
mad
this.
salute. But anyway, yeah, and you can see,
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
It just dawned on me. I'm like, oh. I start backing away as well, and I grab Lavinia. I'm like,
yeah, you see
I
the
kind of introduced the captain of the guard to Tully earlier.
yeah, and with your perception, you can all see Commander Knox standing right beside the nobles, saying, like kind of eagerly asking questions from the queen. It's more like he's trying to like somehow ask why she is so certain. And then you all heard she's saying, I'm certain of this because I witnessed it with my own eyes.
Dang.
Yeah, dang. And that's where we'll stop tonight's sessions. Well, today's sessions. Yay! That was... Yeah, we'll see about how you guys managed to get out of the party and everything.
You're leaving.
Oh,
Man, that's golden. The part of you saying you didn't include me, that's like...
Yeah!
Yes.
Like,
the highlight of tonight's sessions. Yes.
Yeah.
It's definitely the highlight.
you know, it's funny because like, Ravani is the good like angel on your shoulder. I'm the fucking devil. I'm like, let's murder everyone.
Yeah.
And she's like,
God.
let's not. Let's go save the orphans. And I'm like, murder.
Yeah, just kill the dwarves.
Yeah.
Leave the dwarves. Leave the orphans. They don't matter. It's amazing.
You never asked me. I might have an orphan in my bag of holding.
Yeah, you went on a little
Just
killing
like,
spree of yourself.
Is this
so-
one of your orphans?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Put it back.
Maybe it's
Hold on.
another one. Yeah. That's amazing.
I told you I want to. What was it? A bag of a body bag of holding
Yeah.
Yeah,
where I
right.
could just stuff like dead bodies in there, just like.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Is this your body? No.
No. This
Is this
other
your- I mean,
one,
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But
Sound
really,
like a necromancer.
well done, guys. Ravani, you managed to get out of the coma like relatively fast. It's like really good. Yeah.
Thank
Or
God
else,
for that, yeah.
let's just say it's gonna be an unpleasant fall. For a really long fall. So yeah. But yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's stealth is like
Oh,
no
thank
one
God,
drops
right?
below 9. I mean, that's just the point. I mean, when
Yeah.
Viking
And I
rolled a
have
10, I was like,
disadvantage on every stuff.
yeah. When Viking rolled a 10, I was like, that was damn close. But I
don't even know if
really
I-
wish that would happen. You guys would be in a world.
I have a
first.
0 in
No.
or in dex, so I have no bonuses.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. With disadvantage,
Yeah.
that's even worse. But
Um,
hey, you guys managed to avoid that. That's something. That's really good. That's really good.
I had something to get us out of, or at least cause a distraction to get us out of this. So
Yeah,
for next session,
for next session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Oh, that's gonna be the running.
Good job, guys. Good job.
and that's to attack the queen.
Oh god.
Oh
Just like
man.
fucking kill her. Ah!
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
you're not
see
wrong,
about
'cause, like,
that. I look forward to whatever approach you guys are trying to do because it's been
Yeah.
hilarious. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't attack her
Yeah,
directly.
it will be hilarious.
Oh god, another riot in the party. Oh.
Oh yeah, there's way more people than what's on the map.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
I
a
just
lot of
punch a fucking
background
nobleman.
characters.
Just
All you
like,
gotta do is be like, there she is, over there, and it's
Yeah.
just like chaos.
Yeah, it'll be chaos. But yeah, that's due for next session. Great job, guys. Yeah, it's not bad for coming back from break, right? Yeah, cool.
there is a chance that I'm going to disappear to Mexico for next session. So
Okay.
if that's the case, then I'll let you guys know.
Well,
Okay.
there'll be less fun without the murder hobo, but I'll try to play the part.
I'll lay out a script on what I was going to plan on doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like a bot. You just control him. Yes. Ah,
I have a good escape mechanism being an Oathbreaker. So,
true. True.
Awesome.
or at least a distraction for this
Mhm.
kind of shit.
Definitely. But yeah.
I'm going to change out my Magic Initiate level 1 spell because
Mhm.
it's not going to work. And I haven't used it yet, so
Okay.
if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
I
definitely.
picked up Sanctuary, but I realized like it doesn't really work because if you cast it, like
It's
if
a level
anyone
1 spell?
damages, Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Cleric spell. But if I cast it on Ravani and she attacks anybody, it breaks. So there's nobody that's really worth doing it on.
Well, Sanctuary is more like it's cast it when it's safe or when you try to protect someone of high value and stuff.
Healers.
Yeah.
Because technically you can heal without breaking Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm. It's an attack action, so yeah.
Or
spell.
Cast Guardian Spirit and then Sanctuary, and you're fine.
Yeah, true.
Because you don't take. It's kind of like a fireball. Technically, you're not taking any
spiritual weapons. I think spiritual weapon also works because
maybe
it's more like a command of the. You have to cast it like afterwards, after you already cast the spiritual weapon.
Sanctuary's after whatever casting you were doing, but yeah, it's not really gonna work in our case. But I picked up. I hate javelins, so I picked up Toll of the Dead.
Okay, cool.
As a ranged, plus it does like 1d4 or 1d12 damage.
Yeah. If someone's hurt, so yeah.
And then Word of Radiance is the other one, which is kind of just splash damage.
Okay, nice.
Which we were really lacking on a lot of splash.
Yeah,
like
crowd
lower
control or crowd damage kind of type. Yeah.
And then as a paladin, I picked up a new ability, Zone of Truth.
Nice. Yeah, that's always good. Yeah. See if someone's lying. Zone of Truth.
Nice.
Yeah. So just that's kind of what I've prepared.
Yeah.
And I actually have Lesser Restoration from last time I leveled, I think.
Nice. Yeah, it will always come in handy with Lesser Restoration. Like, it will resolve most of the
diseases and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
yeah, because we had nothing to debuff or remove debuff, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
when do I get?
That's pretty cool.
My next set of spells.
All right, so I'll see you guys next week. Keep me posted, Viking.
I
Nathan.
will.
Yeah. So
if I leave, it'll be by Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Then just let me know. Post it on Discord so everyone will know. Yeah. And if no one else is having a break, then we can maybe have a small session.
Level 9 is what I want. That's my third level
you
spell
guys,
slots.
Actually, if Nathan is out, this will be a big event because there will be no wiggle room. There will be no side quest on this one. So I'll leave it up to you to decide if we just take a week of break and then wait until Nathan returns. So yeah.
I'll follow up with whatever.
Okay. Just post it on Discord. Let me know if that happens. So yeah.
I have way too many air miles that I need to kind of use, so I figured I'd do it before I go on.
Is that a vacation? Are you going on
air miles? Yeah. So
nice.
Basically, with my credit card, you get reward points, and I have a crap ton of them. So use them before I start the new job.
Nice.
All
right.
That's awesome, dude.
That's awesome. Yeah.